It's time for some Eric Clapton. Let's go get everything set up here. I'm going to run over to our website and post a link to our broadcast today. The website, jollyrogerukulele.com. You probably already know that because you probably wouldn't be here listening to me if you didn't already know that. And today we're going to be working on the song Tears in Heaven, Eric Clapton. And I'm going to do a couple other tunes, hopefully, from Eric Clapton over the next week or so. And we'll see. We're working on lead sheets just today, so we don't have the full arrangement, so that those of you guys that want to work on lead sheets can. And then by next week I will have posted my full arrangement, and you can compare it to your full arrangement and see what you did well, what you didn't do well, what I didn't do well. And we'll see if together we can come up with the perfect version of Tears in Heaven. All right, so that's opening up correctly. Let me put it on Twitter. Popstars Gone Wild, Tears in Heaven. Eric Clapton, space, https:// jollyrogerukulele.com. And that opens that up. I hit tweet. And ta-da, there we go. And close Twitter out. And let's see. We're going to close that out. Now, some of you guys are not fans of any music that posted after the 1973, right? And you don't know any songs after 90. This song is from 1991. It's practically yesterday when this song came out. And so some of you may or may not know it. Eric Clapton was, I think he's still relatively well thought of as a composer and guitarist, and I think he has 3 or 4 songs that are actually really quite good, and so he's got lots of songs that are probably pretty good, but he's got 2 or 3 that are super famous. This is one of them. And so Tears in Heaven, I mentioned to most of you earlier, my main computer is in the shop right now, and so I'm using my backup computer. Is not near, doesn't have near the same stuff on it that my good computer has on, and so I'm having a little bit of a struggle getting everything out, and so we're having to kind of do what I can to keep things moving along. Hope the computer, they said about a 1-week turnaround, so hopefully sometime next week we'll be back in business full time, and there'll be that. But in the meantime, this song I put together, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 years ago, and initially I put it together for guitar. It's really hard to play on guitar, but it's actually kind of fun to play on ukulele. You get rid of a couple strings, you get the chord choices get a little more rational, and you end up with a pretty nice little tune here. So we'll talk about the repeats and all that stuff, and we'll talk about the one thing you have to do on this piece. There's one thing you have to do to make this thing work, and you can tell right off the bat it's sitting up at the top there. So let's say hi to everybody coming in and see what we're doing. Vicky is here. Hey Vicky. Linda is also here. Vic, sound is good. In non-raining Eugene, it's raining like heck out there right now. Actually, I think it's blown over a little bit. Starting to seem less tragic out there. So that's about how much rain we can handle in Colorado. Here's Red! Exclamation point. Let's give her a broken glass. It's a lot of broken glass. Linda in from Vancouver. Perfect, even if cloudy, 75 degrees. Yeah, Linda had a 100-degree day last week. That's not so good in Vancouver. So glad that it's getting to be more rational there. Holy moly, I've got lightning. All right, so up in Wheat Ridge, it's lightning. Yeah. Don't go outside, Christine. Ronnie, Diane from New Mexico. Enjoyed my Tears in Heaven. Yay, good. So she's into it. Nice. Michelle, 66, up in Rockaway Beach. Beautiful. Nancy, down in Florida. I can't believe I can get this to come. I can't believe I can get this to come out of my ukulele. Isn't that something? Right? So some of you know the song, and that's exciting. Let's see. Bruce says it's raining out there in Virginia, 75 degrees in the rain. Yeah, it sounds pretty nice. You'd take it, right, Bruce? Sandy up in Upper Michigan. Don't know this song, but it's beautiful. Didn't know the song. Go listen to it on YouTube. Just Tears in Heaven, and there'll be 27 different versions of him doing it live, I think. And you do really want to go listen to it. It's really, really a nice song. France is double nines in Highland, in Highland, California. Double nines, 99 degrees. Fran's getting roasted there. Janice is in from Sydney. Let's see. It's foggy and cool there today. It's a sweet tune. Yeah, all right. Jan is in. Elizabeth is in. All right. Guys, you got to memorize the intro because it's going to come back over and over and over and over and over in this song. And it's worth memorizing. It's iconic. Okay, you know how you may or may not know this. In electric guitar, we don't, there are a handful of riffs that we learn, right? You got to know how to do this riff and that riff and blah, blah, blah. Because in rock guitar, electric guitar, there's the really cool intro or the really cool middle eight. And then the rest of the time you're just strumming chords, right? While the lead singer does his thing. So rock guitar is one of those things where I don't teach it because it just makes me mental that, oh, we got to learn this riff that Slash did or Jimmy Page did or David Gilmour did. We got to learn these riffs, but they're not songs. They're just a little organized pattern of notes. And then after that, then here comes the lead singer, and you go. And that's why they have time to smoke a cigarette while they're playing guitar. It makes me crazy. Same thing with Tears in Heaven. There's this riff here at the beginning, and it actually works really well. It's a little more complex than most rock riffs, and it's really just an arpeggio of sorts, and you can look right at it and go like, I think I see some stuff going on here. By the way, on this piece of sheet music, the chords that you see hanging out down there are really for low G players who read sheet music. This was originally set up as a guitar piece, and I just didn't take time to take those out because I thought, they look kind of cool underneath there. So pay no attention to the standard notation. It's not really meant for high G players. If you play those chords with high G, they'll still be the chord. It's just it comes out a higher pitch. So grab your G chord, and you got and like Nancy says, this will be cool if it comes out of your ukulele. Okay, so that's just an arpeggio pattern, right? G. Then go do your D chord, bar on 2 with a 5. And then go grab your E minor, same thing, a little arpeggio pattern here. And then change to your G chord. C chord, kind of, right? 003. It is a C chord, it's just not a full C chord. And then what I would do, I don't think you need to grab the full D chord here. Maybe grab the full D chord. But really, you're just trying to get 2, 2, 3 on because you can drag your ring finger back. So the other hard part of this is the last 3 notes on this little thing are going to be, you got 16th notes hanging around in there. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, so don't play this intro too fast because you want to really crank up the speed on those last 3 notes. Okay, and it's going to be legit, right? Linda says, like the riff in Jesse's Girl that the guys like to play. Yeah, I mean, there's one time I watched, I think the guy had 50 classic rock riffs in 10 minutes, right? And I watched the whole entire video, and it was every riff that every single rock song, and you're like, oh, I know that riff. Oh yeah, I know that one too. Oh yeah, I know that one too. And he just did them all, right? And if you're an electric guitar player, those are all critical information. You have to have all of those memorized because you want to be a rock guitarist, right? And so this is one of this one's actually a little bit harder to do. Hey, Kat, welcome in. Pauline says beautiful song. It is a sad song. We'll talk about that toward the end. All right, Tears in Heaven. Let's just do that intro one more time. Hey, Pele, good to see you. Let's just do it not slow or not fast because we want to be able to do those 16th notes at the end. 1, 2, ready, play. that at the end? Bum, bum, bum. It's going to be lifting you up into the main song. And so don't rush the first 900 notes in the purpose of planning to play dun dun dun. Okay, and it is an eighth note that leads you out of that intro, so you'll have enough time to get onto your next chord, which is a G chord anyway. So, but you do want to try to get that little lift up in there. Why, when we worked on this in the guitar group, we never could quite get that right. And eighth notes or I'm sorry, 16th notes are very, very challenging on a fretted instrument. And when you're supposedly playing a quarter note equals 90, it's probably not going to happen. But when you're at home and playing on your own, and you can set the pace, you probably can get it to happen. Okay, now the rest of these chords, pretty standard issue stuff, and so as you work on your arrangement, definitely I know I left those chords in there on purpose because they're in my arrangement. Okay, and so sometimes you'll see two D's in a measure. That's because I definitely have a strum underneath there probably. Okay, so let's hit the G chord, and then would you pinky up on 5 with a D, know my, and you got this E minor 7. That's just a G chord without your ring finger. Name, and then add the G chord. You can see what Eric Clapton's doing there. Would you know my name? Right? It just that E minor 7 creates a little bit of a tension to be resolved there. Whoops. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, good job, Eric. I wish I'd have thought of that. Okay, C chord. If I, G chord, saw you in heaven. Okay, probably just fill it in with some D stuff. Okay, back to your G chord. Would you be the same if I saw you? Okay, again, you don't need to see it on the paper. You guys know, hey, there's a D chord, and I'm just going to start grabbing notes. I'm done. As long as I don't change the chord, I can play any notes I want to. If you have a low G ukulele, right, something like that, whatever you want to do, as long as you're holding the D chord, you're going to be fine. Okay, grab measure 13, grab your E minor. Okay, let's talk about B chord. You know how you make an A chord? And you move it up 1 and put a bar there and it turns into B flat, your nightmare from early days in the ukulele. Okay, pull it up 1 more, you got a B chord. Pull it up 1 more, you got a C chord. Pull it up 2 more, you got a D chord. Pull it up 2 more, you got an E chord. And you pull it all the way up to 8 and you got an F. Okay, so that's how bar chords work for you. And in this case, instead of a B flat, we're going to play a B chord there. And because the melody note's on 2, you don't necessarily need to put a bar. You can just put index, middle, ring. It might be easier for you to play. Fill up the end of measure 14 with something. Okay, go on to page 2. You got a G7 and carry. Now you have an E chord underneath an E note. This is the one thing in ukulele that is just a bummer. Anytime you have an E chord with an E note, you're going to have this. There's no getting around it, guys. You just do it and move on. It sounds very Renaissance-y or very lute-like. It's just an unfortunate arrangement with this high G string on it. It just never sounds particularly awesome. But you play that half note and then move on, okay? 'Cause A minor with a 3 on top. No, I don't be D chord at measure 18. Long here in heaven. Remember I told you need to memorize this? fast. Okay. Now the repeats here are not as bad as sometimes. Okay. So when you get to the end of 22, you're going to go back to measure 5. Okay. And that riff there from measures 19 through 22, it's identical to the beginning, right? So don't be thinking you got to learn something new there. That riff is the same everywhere. So when you get to 22, you'll go back to the top and you'll play the second verse. Then when you come through the second time, don't stop there. Just keep rolling on right into 23. The song, if you don't know the song, changes dramatically at measure 23. The chords here are actually quite easy to get along with, but the feeling of the song changes quite a lot. And so, because I know I don't belong, right? Or I know I just can't stay here in heaven, dun 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 dun. And then you do the little riff, and then let's go to 23. Strum. Time can bring you A minor, down, time can, D chord on pinky on 5, bend your G chord, knees. Okay, so it's not the complete riff there, but it has echoes of the riff, and so it starts off like the riff, but then they basically took the beginning of the riff and the end of the riff and gave it, not really, well, they sort of smashed the whole thing into one measure at 26, so it's not exactly the same, but you'll see it's very similar, so you can copy from one of the other measures that you've done. And then measure 27, C chord. Time can break your, and that should be under a G, right? Measure 28. Heart have you, D chord with a 5. Begun, G chord, please. Begun, and then you go all the way up to your E chord here. Please, and doesn't that have this nice bright pop there? And then guess what? Then the riff shows up again. Okay, that's why you got to spend a little bit of time putting your energy in on it. Okay, now you hit that. I left you a little note, measure 5. I don't know if it was in this class or last class yesterday. Elizabeth says, shouldn't we have a repeat there? You put a double bar there. And I said, no, that's not what they do in real sheet music. And then the more I thought about it last night, I'm like, I don't care what they do in real sheet music. That should have a repeat there. So I'm going to go back, Elizabeth, and I'm going to put repeats in there because it makes it so much more sensible. When you hit me into 34, it says repeat. You're going to go all the way back to measure 5. Okay, and so then you're going to play verse 3, and pay attention because when you get to measure 18 and the coda has vanished, I'll need to add that back in. I don't know where it went. Measure 18 should have a coda at the end, and at that coda it'll say go to measure 35. And so don't forget the third time through to swing, when you go into 18, herein, and then you're going to jump all the way to 35, heaven, okay? And then at the end here, we have, Donna just walked in. Let me ask her, do you need something?
Yeah.
What do you need?
We're staying here. We're going to order food here.
Oh, okay. All right. We're having dinner with my goddaughter tonight, and that's it. So, you go to the end of 18, jump down to 35, okay? And at 35, you got kind of the riff again, okay? Okay, but then it finishes up, 'cause I, A minor, no, I don't be, D chord long, let that ring out, here in heaven, and then for sure the real riff happens again. take just a little pause at the very next to last note before you hit the chord. Okay, and you could put a high G on there, but that's not what the song's about, right? So you just come to that last chord and right? Okay, yeah, and the words are well, they're pretty sad, right? And so I'm not gonna. If you want, you can go read on Wikipedia what it's about. It's a very sad story. Any event, this is a pretty wildly popular tune for guitarists working on fingerstyle or finger picking, and because of this riff, and so it's an awesome opportunity for you to walk in with your ukulele and be like, yeah, I can do that, right? I will tell you, I'm really proud of the final version of this that I have. So I'd love for you to put some time in on yours and see, how clean and pretty you can get it, and then we can compare notes on it and see what we come up with. Linda made it in. 81 degrees in Laguna. Nice here tomorrow. Oh, you're headed to Alabama. So here's your choices. As you go through life, you have choices. If you're hanging out in Laguna Beach, and you think, where else should we go? And your first thought is, let me clarify this. You normally live in Hawaii. You decide, let's go to the mainland. Where should we go there? Laguna Beach. Yeah, let's go there. And then after that, Alabama. I don't know, Linda. That seems questionable. All right, let's play it on baritone real quick, and then we'll be out of here. I don't know. Alabama is probably fine. I've never been. I've been to Arkansas one time when I was a kid, and I'm not going to rush back. All right. It's too hot and muggy down there. Baritone version of this. The cool part, guys, and I know that not all of you own baritones, but when you get a song that has a guitar heritage with it, like this one does, you'll be amazed how grabbing a baritone, you're like, oh, that's really nice. Okay. Not going to play the whole song. Just I'm going to ignore the repeats. And so walk through here with me. If you are on ukulele, see how many of these chords, as always, see how many of these chords you know on your instrument, and then obviously go look up the ones you don't know. It's part of our homework as ukulele players is to know our chords, and sometimes you're like, God, that's an awful lot of chords I don't know, and so Linda says, I'll keep you posted. It might be right? It might be way better than Laguna, right? It's not. From the top, 4-beat count-in. 1, 2, 3, 4. back and repeat that section. And second time you come through, you're going to blow right through the repeat. Let's go to 23. Ready, play. And then major 27. Third page. Here's a riff again. Repeat the whole song, but paying attention the third time through at measure 18. You get to measure 18, you're going to jump down to 35, because I know I don't belong here in measure 35, heaven. Isn't that pretty? This will be worth your time. Those of you who are working on lead sheeting, it'll definitely be worth your time to come up with this. It mostly fits under your fingers pretty well, and there, obviously, every song has its difficult parts, but I think for a song from '91, right, it's practically yesterday, we got a pretty decent piece of music here to put together. So hopefully you'll have fun with that one, and I will see y'all tomorrow. I think we're going to do Layla, because I do have that in my backup computer from back in the day. And so we're accidentally going to do a Layla, Eric Clapton section. The other one that he's known for is Wonderful Tonight, and so I'm going to probably try to grab that and see if I can toss that one together real quick for next week. By the way, if I didn't mention it here already, Donna does have Monday off, so I'm taking Monday off too, so we won't have our Monday concert until Tuesday, and that'll give you a little bit of extra time theoretically to get your sheet musics together. But let's listen to the music we've done so far this week. Both sides now. Build Me Up, Buttercup, Tears in Heaven. We'll probably do Layla tomorrow. We might do Wonderful Tonight as well. I mean, that's a pretty good list of songs right there. Those of you guys that participate in orchestra, I don't think we will. I'm 99% sure we're not going to meet on Monday night this week. So I will try to finally get around to posting Mac the Knife, and that'll give you something to work on new. And I think that's my plan right at the moment. Yeah, there we go. Where did I leave off? Let's see. She'll keep me posted. Go through Daphne, Alabama, and the overhanging trees are beautiful. Oh, see, yeah, that's right. Elizabeth's actually a Southern girl. She knows about Alabama. The azaleas. Oh, yeah, I know. Gosh. I see flowers from other places. In Colorado, we have sparrows and finches. That's our birds. That's the list, the complete list. And you go to all these other places where there's water and there's all these birds, and you're like, oh, that's nice. Ronnie, thanks. Had fun working on my arrangement. Good. Really enjoy these exercises. Good. Yeah. If you guys have time, I know that most of you are busy, but a few of you are grabbing these lead sheets and turning them into music, and boy, that can be very rewarding, right? Because all of a sudden you're like, all right, I see what Gary's up to. He's not doing magic at all. It's absolutely just doing the work kind of thing. Vic, good to see you. Michelle, thank you. Lovely music. Nice piece. Fran says yes to Layla. Yeah, Layla is An interesting song. We'll talk about it. My niece lives in Daphne, so cute. Oh, well, there you go, right? Perfect timing. Linda, good to see you. Glad the weather's getting more normal. Nancy, definitely worth the time to put lead sheets together. Good. Love it. That makes me happy. It means you guys are at a level where you're like more than just following the directions on the paper, but actually thinking about music and how you put it together. That's really, really a high level skill, and it's so exciting that some of you are doing that. Pauline, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Elizabeth, you bet. Red. Bon appetit. Having a good night, Red. Thanks, Jerry. Happy 4th. Oh, yeah, right. We have 4th of July coming up. Tomorrow's Canada Day. Come during the previous half hour for we'll sing Oh Canada. All right, Janice. Good to see you. Yeah, Fran, we have rattlesnakes. You have rattlesnakes? Fran, we have rattlesnakes. You know, I grew up here. We have time. We don't have time. I grew up out in Green Mountain. Before they called it Green Mountain, they changed the name from Rattlesnake Hill to Green Mountain in order to sell houses out there in the 60s. And so, yeah, I grew up around rattlesnakes, and I'm not much of an outdoorsman anymore, but a few years back when we lived in New Mexico, I had to kill a rattlesnake. So I'm super brave and super strong, and I have killed a rattlesnake. That's it. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful night, and I will see some of you next hour in ensemble playing. Peace. Oh, hit the thumbs up, guys.